Okay, now I'm at the stage of sanding the sides, which I was a bit afraid of because there are glue blobs, and of course this wood is very soft and this blob glue is very strong. So I'm just also I tried some other staple removing devices, and I must say that this barbecue fork is a lot better. I use it on another video. If you just do a search on it, which is basically rounding off these edges and keeping the exterior ones sharp. So when you go inside, first it's a lot sharper than most, and so it's easy to get in there, and then you just wiggle, and then whichever point goes out the most, you hold it, and then you rotate on the other side. Because it's sharp here, it actually grips the staple, and since the back is round, it rolls easily without damaging the wood. After many trials, make sure I don't damage the really soft wood where there's no glue, but still be harsh enough to eat away at the epoxy. It sounds that the best is what Tony Bengalis says in his books, is to use a rasp, either this guy, make sure you, and that's just to, well, the way I saw it anyway, it's just to remove the big blobs of epoxy to begin with. Personally, I like better this guy, and I've tried like round ones and a bit curved and stuff, and it seems that the flat one I think is the best, so you can stay directly and you can feel more where it is. See, I'm standing now and I'm not having any resistance, so I know I'm flat. Even like this guy, which was see, was still a bit here, and I can easily control and just eat away where there's something hard, which is obviously where the epoxy is. So I can slowly and just eat away where there's epoxy blobs. To just also keep it clean regularly with the file cleaner. Just a blade to be used as a cabinet maker's scraper in an effort to do the most work centralized around the glue and use the least amount of sander. So the blade is really good to make sure you stay straight when you sand. Then you can feel where there's maybe a glue blob that's in the way or something. So you can also have a real cabinet maker's blade, but you know, after the years I think this is much more it's easier. When it's dull, you just chuck it. The concept is, I'm sure, very old to everybody, but from me, I learned it from Mr. Letourneau, which built in Osprey 2, a beautiful one. So it's just a piece of wood with some sandpaper on one end, and the thing is you only have sandpaper on this side. See, I've marked where there's sandpaper, so this is where I can actually, it happens something. The rest will just be riding and floating, so it doesn't touch the other part, but still stays flat. I have sanded a bit with it when I did not have this piece of styrene or any plastic that is the same thickness as my sandpaper, and what happened is that when I was sanding, you don't really notice it until after, but I was making some notches here, just in between where I was sanding and not sanding. And I'm guessing the theory about this is that this was a bit higher where the sandpaper was than where it was gliding, so it was making divots here. So now I've improved this guy by gluing this piece of styrene the same thickness. I've also sanded the corner here of the piece of wood, and I've bent back the styrene, and that's to make sure it never catches when it's riding. It doesn't catch anywhere. or the least amount anyway. So then, so after you remove the bulk with the steel rasp, then you can just sand away. I try and keep the sandpaper over just the work area, trying not to sand any of it outside. And then after just a bit to uniformize everybody. So after just a bit of sanding, I am totally flat here, and I don't have any divots here, because on the other one I had a bit of scratching here, like I was eating a bit here, like at something like 10,000 of an inch. I think it's negligible. You guys could confirm, but now because of the piece of plastic, we're flat, period.